Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Good morning.
Here we are. It's Thursday, May 28th. Julie, hit it.
I'm drinking green tea.
Oh, Julie,
Coffee.
coffee. I got coffee too. Julie, do you have a what's it called? A fortune on your tea? Do you have one of those little fortunes?
No, not on this particular one.
I thought it said yogi tea.
No, it doesn't.
All right. We can just make up a fortune. You are limitless.
Yes.
Ooh,
There you go.
I like that.
So, and Sandra and I have our coffee. So as you're settling into this video, we just want to welcome you. Thank you. Isn't it nice that we know people, like that we have this coffee talk? It's nice for us, for Sandra, Julie Irish, and I, that we care and know people enough to make a coffee talk for. And it's nice to know, hopefully for you all to know, like, oh, my pallies are on coffee talk, and just cue it up. And if you know us well enough, you'll know, oh, you might think, I wonder what crazy foolishness they'll say today, because we usually say something that we have no idea. So
Yes, it's so fun.
thank you for joining us.
Shall I start with our birthday?
You shall.
Happy birthday to Gladys Knight. She was born on this day in 1944, which makes her 75 years old. She is known as, she was born in 1944.
So she's older than, oh yeah, 75, okay.
75. She's also known as the Empress of Soul. And get this, Gladys Knight is her real name. She didn't change it. It's Gladys Marie Knight. She was born in Atlanta, Georgia. Going down through, she is still active today. She's still singing. She also plays the piano. I don't think I've ever seen her play the piano.
What are her, like, what are a couple of her big hits?
That's what friends are for.
Oh, that's
Midnight.
right.
Yeah, Midnight Train to Georgia. Take the midnight train to Georgia.
Moving on the midnight train.
She also recorded the theme song for one of the James Bond movies, License to Kill.
Oh,
I think everybody did one of theirs. Let's see. She is also listed as one of Rolling Stone's magazine's 100 greatest singers of all time.
wow.
Yeah,
Oh, Gladys.
go Gladys. Let's see.
You ever have children?
Well, she was married to Jimmy Newman in 1960. Oh, they lost a child, but they had two more.
Wait a minute. She was married in 1960?
Yeah.
Wasn't she
So,
born in 1944?
yeah, she was 16 when she got married.
Oh, I'm guessing maybe she was a churchgoer.
She, at 16 years old, married Jimmy Newman. Newman, they had a very rough marriage. He had a problem with drugs. They had a son, named him Jimmy after Dad, in 62. She retired from the road to raise her child. Let's see.
Good for her.
Yeah, they got divorced in 73, but he passed away just a few months later. He had some real issues. Then she married a Barry Hankerson.
Okay.
And their marriage ended in 79. She did not have good luck with love.
Well, she had good luck with friends. That's what friends are for.
That's right. And she could sing up a storm. This is a cool, this is cool.
That
In
was a pretty
2000, 2017, Knight helped raise $400,000 for the Children's Learning Center of Fairfield County.
Good for her.
That is awesome. So happy birthday, Gladys.
Happy birthday, Gladys Knight. Ooh, you want to look up a quote for her? Are there,
I will.
let's see if Gladys Knight has any words
Oh,
of,
she ended up having 3 children. Actually, let's see if we have a quote from Gladys. If Julie wants, if you guys want to start hitting on other stuff in history, I will look it up.
oh, I want to say this first one.
Okay.
In 1934 in Canada, the Dione, I may not be saying that correctly, it's Dionne. Now, Georgette could certainly help us with this pronunciation. In Canada, the Dione quintuplets are born and become the first quintuplets to survive infancy.
Wow.
The reason why I was so excited, I wanted to share that is because, and some of our guests and family members may know these books. Louise Penny is a very highly respected mystery writer from Canada. She writes about this little town called Three Pines in Canada. And one of the books is around the quintuplets, the legacy of it's a dramatized version, but
Oh, wow.
what Louise Penny refers to in the book is how everyone in Canada knows about the quintuplets, and especially like for our guests too, Mike, because they were born in 1934. It was such a big deal, and it was said to be a gift from God. It was a religious family. Before the woman got pregnant, she went to the church, she prayed. There were all these things that occurred. So the guests might know this from their own personal history, or they might know it from reading this, the Louise Penny Three Pines series.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I found my quote, and I like her quote. I don't regret any decisions I've made in my life.
Oh, love that.
Right on, Gladys.
Yep, I like it too.
Mm-hmm. You do the best you can with the information you have, and there's no regret. Really does nothing.
Right.
Exactly.
I agree.
We might make decisions differently, but that's only because we learn, and that's good.
Exactly. Everything's a learning experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So in 1937, a Volkswagen is founded.
Oh, here we go.
1937. I did not actually know that. I didn't know what year. I just know that they're popular, or they were popular. There's my
What a beautiful
Volkswagen.
car.
Look, there she is. Miss Julie Irish.
That's me and my doggy Jasper.
Oh my God, it is such a great picture.
That's a 1975 Volkswagen, so it's a antique, and it's obviously, you can tell it's a convertible, so it's a ton of fun. And I've actually had it in storage the last 2 summers, but I'm gonna make it a point to get it out this summer.
So, how long have you had it?
Since 2013, I believe. I think it was
Is there a
2013.
story? Is there a story about that, about getting the Volkswagen?
Well, so my thoughts were, well, first of all, I saw it sitting out in somebody's yard for sale, and I was on my way to a friend's house, and I just stopped right in the middle of the road because it just caught my eye. And I went right back the next morning to take a closer look, and all that. And I just fell in love with it, and I just felt that I had to have it. But also my kids were at a point where Jordan was either getting her license or or just a license or something, and was going to be getting his soon after that or around that time. So I knew having a second vehicle would be helpful in our house. And I wanted the kids to know how to drive a standard. And so I thought, oh, this is great. It'll kind of kill two birds with one stone kind of thing. And so that was a Saturday morning when I made the decision that I wanted it. And on Monday, it was in my driveway. So I made it happen.
It's nice.
Awesome.
I want to say that was 2013, but I don't know. I gotta.
So did Jordan learn to drive a stick shift on it?
Yes, both of the kids know how to drive a stick, and it worked out good having a second car. And I figured I don't want to wait till I'm a lot older to enjoy it. So why not have something like that fun to enjoy while I'm young and able?
Yes.
That was my thought.
Oh, Volkswagen Bugs are so great. I had one for like 3 days in college, and I bought it, and it was light blue, and I just loved it. But immediately it broke down, and I was like, I can't handle, like, because at the time what the guy told me is like, you need to be able to, like, you need to want to learn about how to take care of this car or have someone who can help you take care of this car. And I realized I don't have it. I won't be able to maintain what needs to be done. So I gave it right back, and the guy was so good about it. He's like, okay, here's your money back. But it was like $500 sold to me for $500. I was so hoping that, like, I could get through like maybe a few months, but it broke down immediately. Can't deal with it.
Totally understandable, and it's true. And you know what? I'm no mechanic, so I get a little freaked out every time a little something happens, and I tend to just tool around in it here locally, so that if something should go wrong, I'm here nearby. I don't really go off very far in that car, so it's kind of like my Sunday car.
I love it. Oh my gosh. And everyone will, and you know, how many of those are there around here? One.
If we're live and they're not.
There goes Juliet.
Yeah. There's not a lot, I don't believe. Yeah.
Not in that
I
color.
love seeing them though. I beep beep, I beep my horn, wave.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay. I'm just gonna back up. Now that we've covered that Volkswagen it was developed in 1937. In 1935, John Steinbeck published Tortilla Flat, which was his first novel. So that John Steinbeck is like Grapes of Wrath, right? He wrote that book about the Dust Bowl and Cannery Row and Travels with Charlie. Why do I know all these titles? Because I loved John Steinbeck. When my English teacher introduced him to me in my junior year in high school at Lake Region. As a matter of fact, that was the 1 year I was at Lake Region. I then read all the John Steinbeck books I could find.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah. So I felt like, oh, I want to say that. And do either of you ladies know about Travels with Charlie?
No.
I don't think so.
This book about traveling with his dog. He and his dog is Charlie, and they travel around the country. And it's like the sweetest little like travelogue about he and his dog.
Oh my gosh, I love
cool.
it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, his books were just so accessible.
So sweet.
Yeah.
Oh. Gotta open this back up.
All right, does anybody know anything about this 1951? Like Sandra, is that something that you recognize?
Radio program Crazy People. No.
Later titled The Goon Show.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
I wonder if any of our guests have ever heard of the radio show Crazy
Yeah.
People, also called The Goon Show.
But this was on BBC, so that's British broadcast.
Yeah, maybe they weren't sharing things. I mean, like BBC shows are very,
I think back then, yeah, I think back then you were lucky if you got one channel, let alone 2 or 3. And I think there was only 3 to go with.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, this is radio, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. Oh, 1966, When a Man Loves a Woman, This Day in History.
Man loves a woman. She
Oh.
can do no wrong.
A lot of people have sang that song too. They all
Yep.
sing it so good. Song.
That's when it first came out, 1966. That song really has survived. I mean,
Yes.
Yep.
it endures.
I'm trying to
does.
think. Who do I know right off the top of my head? Bolton was one that sang that song, right?
Oh, yes.
Oh, Michael Bolton, yes.
Michael Bolton.
Yep.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay, okay, this one here. I'll do the next one unless someone else wants to do 1976.
Okay, in 1976, the 29th Cannes Film Festival, Taxi Driver, directed by Martin Scorsese and starring Robert De Niro and Jodie Foster, wins the Palme d'Or. I don't know if I've said that right, but
I think it's Palme d'Or. And
Palme
I have
d'Or.
never seen that movie.
No, I haven't either.
And that's considered a classic. Or
Taxi Driver. Huh.
yeah, he's a taxi driver and she plays a teenage prostitute.
Oh.
That
Yeah,
I know.
it was like it was like considered an edgy because it like took these sort of quote darker characters but humanized them. And you know, Martin Scorsese, I think it was one of his like first huge films. And so I don't know if it was with you two or when Julianne was helping do these coffee talks, but we would joke about how, Anna, did you watch that in your film studies class? And I'd say yes. This was one of the movies that we watched in film studies class, Taxi Driver.
Oh, nice.
And what great actors, Robert De Niro, Jodie Foster. I mean, to have like breakout roles in a breakout movie like that.
And she was really young. I
Yeah.
mean, she really was a child.
Wow. Very nice.
The grittier role.
Mm.
Not like her role in the what was that movie about the space? Was it Contact?
Oh yeah.
You remember that with because it was Arecibo or Puerto Rico with that huge telescope. And our family, we lived in Puerto Rico for 6 months, and I can remember going to that huge. What is no, not telescope. It's like a
Satellite.
satellite.
Wow.
That was a very upbeat, perky role for Jodie Foster. Not so much like Taxi Driver.
Gotcha. I didn't see that one either.
Oh, it's a good one. If you like Alien Contact, sweet. Matthew McConaughey's in it.
Oh, I like him.
Uh-huh. Easy to watch.
Yes, yes. Good. Good to know. So should I tell our joke of the day?
What is
Unless
our
anybody
joke of the
wants to
day?
say this last thing, because somebody might remember it.
Oh.
I don't mind saying it. Like,
Yeah, go for it.
it's got that one of the things that happened on this day in history in 1987. I think this is interesting. Is Matthias Rust lands on the Red Square in Moscow. So it was 1987 during the Cold War. He was a 19-year-old West German amateur pilot, and he illegally landed his little plane in the heart of the Russian capital at the height of the Cold War.
What
So
happened to him?
I don't remember the hullabaloo about it, but it's easy to imagine that made huge headlines and that there was conversation about, oh my gosh, this poor 19-year-old kid, he probably ran out of fuel or was going to crash or for whatever reason, or maybe he was making a political statement.
Right.
I mean, I was young at this time, but I'm only 45, but I remember in middle school when a song came out by Sting about, I hope the Russians love their children too. like I understood that there was a Cold War and that, but I'm imagining that some of our guests still have very kind of vivid memories like we'll always have about this time of COVID-19, about
Right.
what it was like during the Cold War and when somebody illegally landed their plane in Red Square.
Yes. Good
Yeah.
point. Yes. That is a big deal, a very big deal.
And or just any other memories that guests might have. So maybe later today, depending on, well, our Zooms are pretty upbeat, but if anybody wants to bring up like any Cold War memories, like that makes us feel grateful for today, feel free to. That would be a pretty downer topic. Today we'll be talking about the Cold War memories.
Does anybody have any fond memories of the Cold War you'd like to share? Sorry, that's not good.
So hot too, Cold War and the heat.
Yep.
How have we not talked about that on today's Coffee Talk? High of 93. All right, people, drink up, drink your water.
Actually, drink skim milk. It's more hydrating than water. I read that in Reader's Digest yesterday.
Oh,
Yep, water's good, but for dehydration, the best is skim milk.
better than say like some electrolytes?
Yep, because there's the chemicals in that have a counteracting. The best thing is skim milk.
Very good to know.
I know. I'm not drinking skim milk.
I don't drink milk, so. But for those of you who drink skim milk, have an extra couple cups and drink some more water and drink some
Yes.
more. Okay.
Water.
Well, we hope we see you on Zoom today.
Yes, and I'll just say the final joke real quick.
Oh, the joke.
Why is Peter Pan always flying? Does anybody know?
Why?
Why is Peter Pan always flying? He never lands.
Neverland. Got it.
Neverlands.
He never lands, so he's always flying.
The jokes are so good. I cannot believe that I had like forgot that like to have a joke, and but we might have missed that great joke.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. It all worked out.
Oh, happy Thursday, everyone.
See you soon. 1 o'clock.